Hello, how's it going? So with the recently revealed Mega Lucario Z, I've been seeing a lot of let's give Mega Evolution to Pokemon that need it or deserve it. And my take lately, honestly, has been, at least in regards to the main series games, you can, well, Legends EA is main series. In regards to turn-based Pokemon combat, you can only use one Mega Evolution on your team, and it has to hold the Mega Stone, which you may not think is a big deal, but a Pokemon's item slot, at least in competitive battling, is really important. And obviously not everything centers around competitive, but at the end of the day, Mega Evolution is a gimmick, and it comes and goes. We've seen Mega Evolution be introduced in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, it's been in Pokemon Go for a while now, and now of course it's returning with Pokemon Champions as well. I don't know if Generation 10 will have Mega Evolution. Either way, the take I have is, why would you want to give, say you give Furret a Mega Evolution, why would you want that? It's a temporary form. You can only have one of them on your team, at least in regards to turn-based. Unless they seriously manipulate Furret's stats and abilities and type, and unless they seriously do some reworking to it, it's not going to be very good. So I don't like this notion that certain Pokemon need Mega Evolutions, because one, you can just regularly evolve them. You can give them a regional variant. You can give them just stat buffs in general. Game Freak has given Pokemon stat buffs over the generations. Not much, but they gave Dodrio, I think it went from 100 speed to 110. I know they gave Raichu some more speed, I'm pretty sure. And between generations, they buff Pokemon. There was a funny moment, I can't remember exactly the reason why, but I know Alakazam for a while was the only Mega Evolution to only gain 90 stats. Because I think regular Alakazam got buffed, but then they forgot to buff Mega Alakazam. So when Alakazam Mega evolved, it was only plus 90 instead of plus 100. Either way, I don't love this idea that Pokemon need or deserve Mega Evolutions. Something else I really actually like the idea of is that every Pokemon is technically capable of Mega evolving. They just haven't discovered their Mega Stones yet, and it kind of makes sense in regards to the games. Because after the Ultimate Weapon was fired again, is when we started discovering more Mega Evolutions. I really wonder what the lore behind Mega Lucario Z is, why is there a Lucario Z? But yeah, in regards to Mega Evolution, I think it should seriously come down to, do we have a cool idea? If yes, make it. And you might be like, oh, well, Mega Lucario is not actually that cool of an idea. I don't agree. I think it's cool. Adding to this, I especially think it's cool because Mega Lucario was the original Mega Evolution. Obviously, there was kind of some retconning, or it was well, actually Rayquaza. Regardless, Lucario is an important part of Mega Evolution, and it's cool to see him have another form discovered. I think I remember seeing somewhere that they take fan favorite Pokemon into consideration as well when it comes to giving them a Mega Evolution. So I don't know. It just makes sense that something like Lucario would get a revisit. And it also makes sense for them to call them Mega Evolution Z, because yeah, they would have to retcon it, otherwise be okay, so the one from X and Y, that was Lucario X, now this one is Lucario Y. So yeah, just calling it Mega Evolution Lucario Z, that just makes sense. In terms of in-game, they actually function differently. The Mega Energy or the Mega Gauge goes down faster, but I guess they're stronger. In terms of how it's going to function in the main series, I'm really curious if there's going to be a difference, or if it's just exclusive to Legends CA that this difference exists. Either way, I'm a little disappointed by the type combinations, or the lack thereof, for these Mega Evolutions. We've got Pure Electric on both Pikas, Pure Electric Zeraora, and then Mega Lucario just stays the same type. I think Chimecho becomes a Steel type now, which is kind of cool. Listen, I'm not one to say that Game Freak do a bad job at typing their Pokemon. I think for the most part, Pokemon to me are more than their type. That's why when I see fan games do the Electric Dark Luxray, I'm just it's just fan service. I don't think these Pokemon need to have these types. I think essence wise, or the literal monster is this type because that's just the element that it is. But it's more than that. It can do more than that. Just because Luxray has dark fur doesn't mean it's dark or evil, right? It's kind of the opposite, because it can see through walls. Anyway, it's how we have Pokemon that are designed around sound and sound-based moves, that we don't actually have a sound type, because Pokemon are more than their type. Like I said, that being said though, I am disappointed with the type combinations, just because it's, I don't know, I just want something to differentiate them. I don't have the Pokemon in my hands. Maybe the moveset and the type and the their stat distribution, their ability. Maybe all of this is enough to differentiate the Pokemon enough. But especially with Raichus, I think if both Raichus are going to be the way that they are, it would have been nice to just have something a little bit more to differentiate them. Like if you're going to give one Pokemon 2 Mega Evolutions, something to differentiate that would be cool. Got a little bit off topic though. I was ranting about this Pokemon deserves a Mega. I just don't agree or like that notion, because you're telling me you want to Mega Evolve a Riados because he's weak and he needs a buff. So he gets this temporary one-time evolution. You know, you can use one in your team per battle, and you're going to choose a Riados when there's like 70 other Pokemon you can choose from. You're going to choose Mega or Riados? No, you're not going to. Unless you want to win battles. Like this gimmick, you get one per team and it uses up an item slot. You're not going to use Mega or Riados. I mean, obviously, like I said, there's more to Pokemon than competitive. Competitive is kind of the end game when it comes to Pokemon though. There's shiny hunting as well. But when it comes to the point of Pokemon is you're battling against other creatures. So I think we need something more than just battling. I think it would be really cool. I recently played Pokemon Lazarus and I tried Pokemon contests out, and now that I'm an adult and I kind of understand video games a bit better, I kind of enjoyed the complexity of contests, and I wanted to like do a deep dive into Pokemon contests. I think if they brought something back like Pokemon contests, there could be a reason for Mega Ariados. Maybe Mega Ariados is busted in Pokemon contests. That would be cool. I like it when Pokemon have like a niche or like a reason. You know, not every Pokemon has to be good, but if they're good at something, at least that would be nice. Like I know in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Delcatty is absolutely busted, and that's enough for me. I'm like, you know what, Delcatty, that's the Mystery Dungeon Pokemon. Delcatty goes crazy in Mystery Dungeon. So it's just hard when like you've got this temporary form that you can use one on your team per battle. It takes up an item slot. It's just hard to justify making, you know, worse Pokemon good with it, because in terms of like competitive play, at least you're not really going to be seeing most of them, and it's a damn shame, you know. Not saying all of them have to be competitively viable, but I think overall when it comes to Pokemon, I think they need to give us more things to do with our Pokemon, because right now the main point is to battle. If we could do Pokemon contests, that would be fun. Something just give us more to do with our Pokemon, so it's not like, oh, this guy sucks in competitive, there's no point of even like him existing. It's like, no, actually, Mega Ariados, he won me the beauty contest. He goes dumb. Mega Ariados, flawless, great Pokemon because it's so good in contest. Ultimately, my point is, if they want to buff Pokemon, I don't think doing it with Mega Evolution is the way, because let's say Gen 10 rolls around, Mega Evolution isn't in the game. Ariados is, but he can't Mega Evolve. So that buff that he got, you want, let's say we're just talking strictly in-game, you want Mega Ariados so you can use him in-game and he's stronger now. Gen 10 rolls around, he's not in, Ariados is in the game, but Mega Evolution isn't. You can't play Mega Ariados. It's just like, why would you want his buff to be tied to a gimmick? I say just give him better stats, give him a better ability, give him a better move. Like, I think at this point with power creep is so insane. And I think the way that they're kind of going with Pokemon, I think what they're trying to do is Pokemon Champions is going to be like the hub. It's like, okay, this is where you battle, you do your competitive battling, and you can bring your Pokemon from all these games we're releasing into this battling hub. So maybe that won't be a worry. Maybe it's, you know, oh, I can't use Mega Ariados in Gen 10, but I can use him in this competitive battling thing. But still, I don't know. With Pokemon Champions, I really hope that they take the opportunity to buff older Pokemon, because power creep has been insane. I don't think every Pokemon needs to be good. I am very much a believer of some Pokemon just need to be bad just for the sake of being bad, you know? Like in real life, a bird versus a snake. Like your common bird is, again, it depends on the species, I guess, of bird and snake, but you know what I mean? Like it's not balanced in the real world either. So it just makes sense that in this Pokemon world, it's not going to be balanced because they're the animals of the world. It's not going to be balanced. Those are just some of my thoughts. I really just wanted to come on here and kind of spill my thoughts, because I've got so many thoughts about like this stuff. I just don't like the argument of, oh, this guy deserves it. It's like, well, why does he deserve it more than like Dragonite? Because Dragonite's already good, I guess. Like then we just cycle back to my original point of why not just give it a regular evolution? Why not just buff its stats? Why does a gimmick that isn't always going to be around the solution? I don't think it is. And at the end of the day, not every Pokemon has to be good, because if everyone's super, nobody is. With an asterisk, It would be nice if they were all at least good at something, even if it's not battling. If any Pokemon you should be complaining about getting too much is Zygarde. Zygarde has like 4 or 5 signature moves, like 5 or 6 forms, and a Mega Evolution. Like, Zygarde, that is their favorite boy. Anyway, thanks for listening to me yap. Let me know your thoughts. No hard feelings if you feel like, no, they should give Fearow a Mega Evolution and make him an electric flying type. I want him to be Zapdos. Make him Zapdos. Mega Fearow is Zapdos.